Hello, I'm Joe Vito, and welcome to American Songwriters Off the Record. Today, we are joined by Scotty McCreery, and we're here at Starstruck Entertainment on Nashville's legendary Music Row. How you doing, Scotty?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing good. Good. Thank you for joining us today and speaking with us.
Thank you for having me. Heck yeah.
Yeah, so we're going to be talking today about your new record, Same Truck, which is a really fantastic album. I feel like between the quality of the songwriting and kind of the side of yourself that you get to show your listeners, and also just like the sounds and the music. I mean, it all comes out. It's so much fun to listen to.
Hey, I love to hear that, man. Thank you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I kind of want to get a bit of like the story of this record and kind of what this period of your life has been like. And to get that, I want to start by kind of just setting the scene on this moment by talking about the pandemic.
Sure.
When did the pandemic kind of start for you? What was your quarantine experience like?
So we had a headlining show at the Ryman Auditorium, and we were like, it felt like the last show to play Nashville. Last show to play the Ryman. It was the first show that like we had like a media hang before, and like you started to see people doing the elbow thing instead of like shaking hands and hugging. I was like, man, there might be something to this. And it's like the very next day the world shut down, and we just stayed at home and quarantined and didn't go anywhere for a while, which is not normal for me. I'm used to traveling for a living, basically, so it was weird.
Yeah, oh my gosh. So at that point, kind of tell us about what was going on with Same Truck. Were the songs kind of already in play when the pandemic hit?
No, Same Truck did not exist, when the pandemic hit. We had a lot of an album that was almost ready to go, but then we had nothing but a year and a half to sit there with a guitar and write songs and come up with ideas, and we kind of scrapped most of that record that was ready before and made a brand new record called Same Truck.
Tell us about that. What was that kind of like? Was it just having the extra time?
Yeah, I mean, I got started doing this all at 16 years old. That's when everything started happening for me. So I haven't had time at home like that since I was 15. So I was up in my studio upstairs playing the guitar like I was a kid again, learning how to play and learning my favorite songs, and I haven't done that in a long time, and it kind of made me love it all again, so writing songs, having all that time, and writing songs I really cared about and loved, and you're in a different headspace too when you're kind of going through a global pandemic at home. So songwriting wise, I think it actually helped being home like that.
You did get more time to kind of like write these songs and kind of like take time to reflect in a way that you haven't before. And on my listening to Same Truck, it really does seem like it kind of reflects an older, more mature kind of Scotty. Is that how it feels for you?
It does, yeah. For me, it's cool how I've been able to make my records 17, 20, 23, 24, now 27. And a lot of my previous records were a lot of looking forward, being excited about the future, what's to come, all that stuff. And this record really is like kind of me sitting back, kind of like we all had to do in the last year, and just kind of taking that 30,000 feet look at everything and being grateful for the little things and, things I've learned I'm putting into songs as a guy, as a husband. And I think that definitely shows through in the perspective of a lot of the writing here on this record. So,
tell us about your song "You Time." I love this tune. What's kind of the story behind it?
Yeah, so "You Time," this was a pre-pandemic song. I wrote this in 2019, and my wife is a pediatric nurse, so she's at the hospital 3-4 days a week, and with me being on the road, her schedule's not Monday through Friday. It kind of fluctuates throughout the week, and I was on the road, and normally I'm gone the weekends, some days in between. It was just working out for like a few months at a time, where it's like every time I was home, she was at the hospital, and every time she was home, I was on the road. And it was like, we were just like passing each other. She'd be getting in and I'd be heading out to the airport, and we'd kiss and say, hey, goodbye, and see you in a few days. So I was like writing, like, man, I just want things to slow down so we can spend some time together. We sure got some you time over the last year and a half, for sure.
Well, I want to ask about the title track, Same Truck. And specifically, I really love kind of like the message of like camaraderie that you have, and especially coming out at a time like this. It's a great song. What can you tell us about it?
Thank you. Yeah, I think it's a message that's important to get out there. You turn on the news, turn on whatever, and it's just all this griping and divisiveness. And one of the things that I've always believed, but I really learned on the last record, you put a song out like 5 more minutes, super personal song to me. This is it. My engagement wedding song I wrote for my wife. In between was like me talking about who I am as a guy. And it's like every day on social media or at a show in a meet and greet, people are like, man, 5 more minutes really helped me when I lost my cousin here. hey, this is it, me and my husband or me and my wife walk down the aisle to that song. And in between, that sounds like me. It's like, man, those are all very personal songs to me. And all these people relate to it. It's like, man, we are all a lot more alike than we are different. We're on the same team here. Let's build each other up instead of tear each other down. And so we took that message and turned it into a country song, talking about trucks and back roads, tobacco fields, cold beer, all that good stuff. And I love that song.
I want to ask you about, it's been now 10 years since Idol.
Yeah.
How does it feel, like looking back, realizing that was like 10 years ago?
Yeah, it's day to day for me, whether it feels like yesterday or a lifetime ago. But you know, I learned so much from that show in such a short amount of time. I mean, from start to end, when I went out to LA, it was middle of February and it was done end of May. And that's the time I spent in LA, but I learned, it was like a little mini boot camp of like how to record songs, how to record a commercial, rehearsals, working, collabing. And you're getting to work with some of the best in the world on that show. So I learned so much and look back on it with very fond memories. Got to hang out with Jennifer Lopez for a few months. That was wonderful. Somebody had to do it, you know.
Yes. Yeah, if they're really gonna break your arm,
Yeah,
you guess they'll do it. I'll hang out
exactly,
with it.
exactly. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. It's been 10 years.
Your record's out.
Yeah.
How does it feel? How do you feel? What's kind of like the future look like for you?
Man, it's so exciting. We've been working on this thing for so long now, and just to have it out there, have people listening to the music, hopefully enjoying the music, and getting to play it on the road, it's what you dream of, what you love doing. So had a blast making this record, even though it was the craziest of circumstances making this record. We got it done, and we're very proud of it.
Scotty, thank you so much for stopping by and speaking with us.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
And thank you too to Starstruck Entertainment for having us here at their beautiful studio. Scotty McCreery's new record, Same Truck, is out now. You can get it wherever you listen to music. For American Songwriter, I'm Joe Vito. Thanks for tuning in.